Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover one of those space Lego sets. And one of the space Lego sets, I actually didn't have when I was a kid, but I had a lot of these parts and a different setup. But that's okay, because I acquired one and I love this little thing. It's amazing. I love classic space Lego, and I particularly like the smaller sets. But anyway, we're going to look at set number 6822 from the Lego Land Space Series. And here's the little, kind of a, I want to say this thing is like a sky sled type of thing. I don't know. It's kind of more of an industrial style thing, because it's got like this weird claw thing here on the back. It's got this really neat kind of aesthetic to it. The instruction booklet's got a alternative build here. Few alternative builds, which is really rare to see on these, but here's like a kind of like a flying ship type of style. Then you got one here that looks like a maybe just like a mining system type of thing, just kind of like something to be able to monitor stuff. It could be a communications tower, I don't know, use your imagination, it's cool. And then we got a alternative way of building the sled that's actually got the claw thing in the front, which is really neat. I love seeing this kind of stuff on instruction manuals. It's a lost art, guys. It's a lost art. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, you got like the Lego man here. You put them together, and then mine's got a little bit of a rip in it. This happens over time with some of these things, so I just try to take as best care as I can of them. But you know, it's got just a few steps. It doesn't have a whole lot of steps to be able to build it, but it's got some really interesting parts, which is very cool. And probably one of the biggest reasons why I absolutely love this set is the fact of all the crazy, insane parts that this set has. Let's look at the Lego man first. The Lego man in this one here is red. It's got like a little red dude. As you can tell, his gold there is a little worse for wear. It's got a little bit of a shimmer left, but most of it's kind of rubbed off, unfortunately. But that's okay, we still love him anyway, because he's one of those little classic red space Lego men. And I'm such a fan of these guys. This style Lego man has just been my favorite and won't ever be like surpassed ever. It's just something that I remember having these when I was a kid. This is what I remember as Lego men. And there isn't much to be able to, like, you know, change my mind about that. And as I got older, I got to see 2001 Space Odyssey, so I was like really like, these guys look like they came out of space, you know, like 2001 Space Odyssey, and I'm like, that's what I love about these guys. It's got to be what I love. And then, you know, Star Trek's got a very similar suit too, and I'm just into that. Anyway, it's got your standard, you know, articulation. And the fact that he is one of those authentic ones. He's got the solid top, and not to mention he's got the thicker chin strap. I do have one that's got a thin chin strap somewhere. I know I've got one somewhere. Actually, I take that back. This is not the thicker chin strap, because this must be him. It doesn't have a little bitty bump there. You can tell it's just solid all the way around. There's no like protrusion or anything, so yeah, this is how you go. This is a 100% authentic one, like way back in the day. What's cool about these guys is sometimes you'll find them where they kind of crack here on the hands. Mine have not, thank God, knock on wood. Yeah, it's a very neat little Lego man. You guys know about Lego man. He's amazing, and I like him a lot. Anyway, let's take a look at his little sky sled contraption here. And his little sky sled contraption's got a lot of crazy details. He's got this steering wheel here, because that's how he maneuvers the craft along. And I can see this kind of just skimming along, you know, the surface of whatever planet they're on. And it's got these little retro rocket type of things here, which, you know, I could see these as maybe being sonars, since you wouldn't be using these as like, you know, moving around much. These might be for like left and right, and these maybe a little bit of a boost, but these, I could see these as like, you know, putting out, you know, signals, because they're looking for minerals and stuff on whatever planet they're on, so I could see that. It's got this nice little antenna here for the communications. And then he's got this huge claw thing here on the back, which has a pretty good extension to it. It's pretty long. I do like it. It's got this little claw piece that opens and closes, which is nice. And what else is cool is this thing actually rotates. So you can actually rotate it sideways. So if you wanted to carry something, you know, at the side, he could. If you wanted to go all scorpion mode, he could. It's kind of funny. I do like it because of this. It's got a lot of cool little play features with this. And it's one of those things I think is highly missing from Lego sets nowadays. It's just one standard little play feature that changes the entire game of whatever toy that is available. This set probably would have averaged about around $5 back then, because this was one of the smaller sets. Now, one telltale thing I can tell you right now when it comes to unique pieces that the old Space Lego had was this piece here in particular. I'm going to pull this light piece off because, you know, it's got these little light pieces. The thickness of this is actually a lot thicker on modern parts. The original ones were thin like this. It wasn't a very thick part. I think they thickened it because they were afraid they were going to snap off over time. But I haven't ever had that issue myself, especially on this the older gray stuff. But that's pretty much the biggest telltale between this and any of the modern stuff, other than the color of the gray is slightly different now than the old. It does happen to have these gigantic jet engines, which this is 4 of these, so you can pretty much use these for anything if you wanted to. I mean, it's Lego. You build what you want, right? I remember back in the day I used to build spaceships and stuff, and these were what I'd use for the thrusters for the spaceships. And I think it's cool that it's got these huge skid things here on the bottom, because, you know, this could be where all the thrusting and stuff come from this thing in order to like propel this thing across wherever it's going, and use these as just sonars looking for minerals. You know, that's just what I see here with this little device, and it's neat. And that's one thing I absolutely love about it. And put your Lego man back on here. And what's good about this is how much space it's got. It's got plenty of space there for the backpack, so that way the backpack doesn't like crash into anything. Now, he could have had a seat, but that's okay, he didn't, because it would have kind of limited the amount of unique parts they put in here. Because this right here, the arm itself was probably the most expensive part on here, considering how many parts are in the arm. The arm each has a section, because you have the main piece, which is the piece that's actually attached here, and then that piece has actually got a piece of this that's already sticking out, that's already permanently attached on the inside of this. Those are not removable, but from there on, these are all little joints. And then the claw itself has to be built. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces literally dedicated to just the gimmick that this thing does of using a mechanical arm, which is neat. It's very neat, and doesn't take away from the toy at all, and it tucks away nicely. That's what's great about it, is like it tucks up out of the way. It's not sticking out, it's not going to bang into stuff, especially if you're displaying this on a shelf. It doesn't get in the way of everything else. It doesn't have a bunch of protruding things and such, because, you know, some of us have limited space on our shelves, and I happen to be one of those, and this is very ideal because of the size. I love this thing because of that. I'm just a fan of it. It's just one of those sets that just really, really resonated with me. And if you guys could, you know, try to find these guys out there. These are not the hardest things to find, but they're really cool toys, and they're really, really well worth the time and effort put behind them to get hold of these guys. But anyway, this has been Plasticon, and this is me signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you around. There's plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye.